Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Libra. That's Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising for the month of August 2025. July was quite the month, and August will have its moments. But I think overall it seems a little calmer to me. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be calmer. I think a lot of what has happened over the last couple of months is coming to a point of review where people are actually looking at things instead of like getting fooled by stuff. And so we can expect maybe less surprises coming out and less surprises on our side and maybe more surprises for those who have been bludgeoning us with BS. Okay, so so let's get started. We'll start with the astrology, and then we'll move to the card reading. I do want to welcome all my new subscribers before I get started. Thank you for joining this wonderful community of like-minded souls. I think you're really going to enjoy yourself here. To my tried and true who have been with me for years and years, thank you so much for walking this path with me. It has meant the world to me. To my new subscribers or my new members on my YouTube channel, I want to thank you for your support. It's very helpful to me, and it allows me to get more of my teachings and my information out to people. So thank you very much. And to my Patreon folks, thank you so much for your continued support. All right. Let's take a look at the astrology now. The first thing we're going to look at is just the general astrology for the month, and then we're going to get specific on you, Libra. So let me get started here. Okay. All right, so we're working with 3 specific numerological energies this month. Of course, we are in a 9 universal year, and so every month since January, I've been talking about this vibration. 9 is the end of a cycle. It is the point in the cycle where we see what was harvested. And the harvest occurred in 2024 when we were in an 8-year. And now we get to see what we want to keep, what we want to let go of, and what seed do we want to plant for the next cycle, which begins in 2026. It is a Virgo energy. It's associated with the Hermit card. And the South Node is in Virgo right now. So we're releasing perhaps our need to be perfect. And we're moving forward in faith. It is the 8th month, and so the 8 vibration is significant this month. The 8 vibration is located here on the Tree of Life, and it's connected to the Strength card. The Strength card is the Leo card, and of course, the Sun is in Leo for most of the month. It is energetically located in the throat chakra, if we overlay the chakra system on the Tree of Life, and so we can expect that people will be freely expressing themselves. So there's going to be a lot of expression this month. And then if you take these 2 vibrations and add them together, we get a 3rd vibration, which is the 17-8 vibration. And so this month is a star month. This is the specific vibration for this month. We do have quite a bit of activity this month. Mars, early in the month, moves out of Virgo into Libra. And as soon as it enters Libra, and shortly thereafter, it makes an opposition to Saturn. And then we have a full moon, and then it makes an opposition to Neptune. Saturn and Neptune are moving together. They're both in Aries. They're both moving retrograde at this point. They're both on the way out of Aries after being there for a little bit. They will return back to Aries next year. And that especially these 2 planets, Neptune and Saturn, they will be conjoining at the very first degree of Aries, which is a world point. So we can expect a big shift in the dynamics of the whole entire planet. All right, the full moon is at 17 degrees of Aquarius with the sun, of course, in Leo. Full moons are points of awareness. The Leo Aquarius axis is the axis of love. And for you, because it's as a Libra, it also activates the axis of love, doubles down on the axis of love, as it were. We do have Mars make a lovely trine to Pluto. That is very powerful energy. That's on the 10th. On the 11th, Mercury finally stations direct. It's been retrograde since July 18th. It's the whole retrograde has been in Leo. So there's a lot of self-expression. And there's actually a lot of people with the retrograde, people going back on what they said. And so when it goes direct, we'll see how that filters out in the zeitgeist, so to speak. On the 12th, Venus makes a conjunction to Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter and Venus are considered the benefics, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So this is a nice healing balm that we definitely need because there hasn't been a whole lot of, uh, we'll say, joyful things going on. And so when we have the opportunity, we definitely need to take it. There's an interesting sextile between Mars and Mercury. Mars-Mercury sextiles, this is a waning one, so it's bringing up a progressive thinking, looking to the future. How can we raise all boats? You know, all the things that we're really interested in, not the other stuff that we're not interested in, but the people in charge are interested in, waste our time and waste our money with. But usually this is a one and done. You have it on a day and it's done. But because Mercury just came out of retrograde, it's sort of lining up with the speed of Mars. And this sextile actually lasts 4 days with an exact sextile on the 14th and an exact sextile on the 18th. This is a golden opportunity to get the progressive message out and perhaps start planning for a more fair future for all of us. On the 22nd, Virgo moves into, the sun moves into Virgo, and the next day we have a new moon at that first degree of Virgo. On the 25th, Venus moves into Leo, and soon after she moves into Leo, she opposes Pluto. Venus Pluto oppositions can be salacious, but they can also be very passionate as we become aware of the desire nature of the soul and what the soul values. And then at the end of the month, we have a Uranus Neptune waxing sextile. Uranus and Neptune don't make, well, this is the first exact Ptolemaic aspect that these two planets have made since 1993, when they 3 times in that year came together in a conjunction. So this is sort of the opening salvo of the seed planted in 1993. And so you can go back in your personal biography and see what that is for you. I know what it was for me. It was a very important year for me. All right, so let's just go right to Libra. And all the things I just spoke of, we'll see where they fall in the chart for Libra, so you can get a little bit more of a specific vibe for yourself. You can see that most of the planets with the Libra rising are in the last quarter of the chart. This is the most collective area of the chart, and so the work that you do this month will be for the collective. Sun starts the month in Leo. That's your 11th house. We do have Venus moving into Leo, but that doesn't happen till later. And then here's Mercury, which starts the month retrograde, but then goes direct on the 11th. Mercury was in Leo, also direct and retrograde last month. So the Mercury sort of connects these 2 months together. The 11th house is your house of friends. So having the sun there is nice, having Venus there. Actually, Venus moves in after the sun moves out. So that area of your chart is activated first by the sun, then by Venus, and then Mercury is there for the whole month. So there's a lot of activity in the house of groups and new goals, new goals. The sun then will slip into Virgo on the 22nd and into your 12th house. Sort of disappears into that 12th house. We do have a new moon then in that house. And so that's planting a new seed. And the 12th house is the most mysterious house, but it is also the closest to spirit. So if you want to start a new seed with your guides, this would be the one. This is the seed your guides get to plant in the garden of your soul. Mars is in Virgo at the beginning of the month, but then moves on the 6th into Libra. So Mars is in the first house. Your first house, it's a lot of energy when Mars is in your first house, or when Mars is in any house. But in your first house, it's you being you. And Mars in Libra is about considered action, and you know all about that. It's much more comfortable for somebody like yourself than it is, say, for an Aries. We have Jupiter now in Cancer in that 10th house. Jupiter is an expansive energy, and the 10th house is your career and public standing. So we can expect that more of you will be seen, or you will be seen. If you're somebody who likes to hide away, this is not the year for you. You're going to be out and about. Uranus now is in Gemini. Now it's going to go back into Taurus, but right now it's moving forward. It's in Gemini. It just moved into Gemini on 7/7. And so it's only been there for a little less than a month. Uranus wakes us up, and it's in your house of truth and justice. So you may be woken up to some new truths, and perhaps we'll actually see some justice, because you are the sign of justice after all. You are a Libra. Saturn and Neptune, again, both in Aries all month, but moving retrograde. They really sort of came in guns a-blazing, if you don't mind me saying, into that 7th house, and probably creating some havoc and some challenges. And now they're starting to move backwards. Again, they will go back into Pisces. And Saturn goes back into Aries in February, and Neptune goes back into Aries in January 2026. So, but right now they're in Aries, and they're in your the 7th house of relationships and open enemies. So just keep that in mind. It's not just the people you like, but sometimes it's the people that have an issue with you. And then Pluto, of course, in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is kind of nice for the Libra, because it's a fellow air sign, and so the aspects that happen to your Libra planets are flowing. And the flow, Pluto is transformational, but it's less of a traumatic transformation, and it's more of a flowing transformation, sort of a natural process of change and transformation. You've been up against it with Pluto in Capricorn for, was it 16 years? That is squaring you, and that Pluto and Capricorn was sitting in that 4th house, which is really in a way the most sensitive place in your chart. So you're relieved that I believe that I would think I should say that Pluto is in Aquarius now, but it is in your house of creative self-expression and children. So we can see some big changes there. Here, and in fact, this is where the full moon sits with the sun in Leo, and this is the axis of love. The 5th house is personal love, romance, things like that, and the 11th house is impersonal love, more like friendships and associates, group associations, and the like. It's tribal. So there's some awareness around those issues. All right, so that's what the astrology says. And I'm going to stop the share, and we're going to do a card reading. I'm going to be using the Rider Waite deck. I rarely use it. I use it when I do my readings, so people can see what cards are connected to their tree of life and their numerology. But I don't do a lot of card readings with them, and I do love them. So, and they were right next to me. That's how I choose. What's the closest deck to me? All right. Oh, I took the Crow Tower. Well, we'll have to do that for somebody else. Okay, let's see what's going on for you, Libra. We start the reading with the King of Swords. This is a Libra energy. This is somebody who is an authority figure. This could be a police officer, a lawyer. This could be like an attorney general, somebody who's in charge of the law. Um, And so right from the get-go, there's this energy of the laws coming down. Okay, let's see what's crossing that. Um, Betrayal and heartbreak. So there's some betrayal and heartbreak here. Um, this two combination can be an energy of divorce, and I'm not saying that you're gonna get a divorce. If everything's okay this month, I don't want you to think, oh no, the card said divorce. But if you're getting a divorce, if you're in the midst of a divorce, um, you know, it's trying to be fair without having your heart broken too bad. Underneath it all, we have the card of healing. So ultimately, as much as this loss is painful for you, it's the first step in your healing process for you to regain your balance. For you to regain your balance. Let's see what's in the past. We have the Emperor here. The Emperor is also an authority figure, but it's more authoritative than even the kings. This is also a card of having dominion over yourself. Perhaps you were fed up with somebody else telling you what to do, and now you want to have dominion over yourself, and perhaps that required a break from somebody. But this is also a card of clairvoyance. And so you may have been getting a lot of visual, a lot of visions in your head, or, you know, things pop in and you're like, well, why am I seeing that? Like that kind of energy. In the sky, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is the night where the horse has all 4 feet, all 4 hooves on the ground, and he's not moving forward. So this is sort of a wait and see kind of energy, but it's also an evaluation of and an understanding of what's important. And so the sky card is often messages from spirit as I look at it. And what I think spirit is saying is evaluate your resources, evaluate your resourcefulness. Don't undercut yourself by being too nice, because Libra can do that. They can sort of give the farm away if they're not careful. And in the immediate future, somebody's trying to steal the farm away. But I think that, and that might be what causes you to have an issue. This doesn't have to be romantic. This could be a friendship, or it could just be or it could be romantic. It doesn't have to be marriage, is what I meant to say. And that full moon is in the house of love, which is the house of friendship and the house of romance. And so this might be connected to that. But somebody is not being on the up and up. But you're gonna see it. You're not good. It's not. They're not gonna get away with it. Okay. Um, how it's seen from the outside, a decision needs to be made. Some people might say Libras are a bit indecisive, but that's not really true. Libras will make a decision. It just takes them longer because they really do weigh out everything. So don't feel pressured to do something. Do it when you're ready to do it, but it will get done, and it does have to get done. Okay. Your domestic situation. Ooh, a new project, a new class, maybe even a new apartment, a new home, something new, something new that you can actually touch and feel, or in the case of a class take, right? You can take a class. The Page of Pentacles is sort of the first steps in a project, and it's important to know what you're dealing with and what you need to know before you start the project, right? So that's the energy there. The hopes and fears. Um, well, this is not a hope. This is being trapped in your mind, but it can also be having to be really careful about the way you say something and feeling like every step is a treacherous one. But this person does have water at her feet, and if she follows the water, she'll make it outside of the swords. And so if you're worried about saying the wrong thing, have your intuition be your guide. And the outcome, the leap of faith, a whole new thing, Libra, a whole new world. This is a Uranus card. Uranus now is trining your Libra energy, right? So this is a time to take that leap of faith. You're going to be in a situation you haven't been before. And it's not necessarily a negative one because underneath it all is the healing. So I like that for you. Let's see what's underneath. We have some good news coming with the Page of Cups. It could also be a message of love, but not like romantic love necessarily. This is because it's young, it's a page. Usually the night is when you have romantic loves, but you're gonna hear from people, I think, that are gonna be cheering you up and supporting you. And I think it's going to be from places you don't expect. It might actually be from somebody young who, and could be a kid, a grandkid, I don't know, that says, "Oh, I'm so glad you did that." And you were worried that they were going to be upset when they actually were happy to see it. This says, hold on to your resources. Even if you look a little stingy, it's okay. You don't have to worry about that. You need to protect yourself and you need to protect your resources. And there's the Queen of Swords. This is the queen who's alone, but she stands up and she has freed herself from the chains that bound her. So this is actually a really important month for you, Libra, to free yourself from the chains that have been holding you back. All right, one last thing I want to do. We're going to do a Mystic Sister card. Just as to just sort of wrap it up, roll it up in a nice little bow. See what the Mystic Sisters have to say as an oracle for Libra. Wow, those cards were cool. Not easy, but ultimately, I don't think it's going to be easy for you to move through the month. But when you get to the end of it, you're going to be like, it was worth it. That's what it feels like. Okay. Okay. What do we have? What do we have? Bridget. This is the third time we've gotten her. So obviously Bridget has something to say this month, not just to Libra. I can't remember the other ones who got Bridget, but if you happen to have, when you do these, it's a good idea to look at your ascendant, your sun, and then if you want to look at your moon with these readings, because you'll get a little information from all of them. But if it happens to be, if you get Bridget more than once, then you really got to pay attention. All right. It says inspiration, revelation, and creativity. The great mother goddess Bridget offers you a flame of inspiration from her cauldron of brewing creativity. Such a gift, such a gift as this must not be passed up. Now is the moment. Moments. Turn the page. To act on the orders of your muse. She will speak to you in the midst of an artistic and creative endeavor when you are most receptive. Your eyes, hands, and ears will be guided to create magic. By following the instructions of your muse, you will find your soul is nourished and a greater meaning to your time on earth is understood. Inside the act of creativity is hidden treasure. The ability to slip out of time into eternity. Bridget will inspire you to find your fire within, your passion, your fire. Perhaps when we see Pluto oppose Venus, your ruling planet. All right, that's the story. Looks like it's going to be another interesting month. All right. Take care of yourself, please. If you're in a hot place, stay cool, stay hydrated. If you're in a cold place, stay warm. Um, know that you are supported, not only by spirit, but by the people who love you, because there are a lot of people who love you. And sometimes when you're in this kind of situation, you feel like you're alone, but you're not. All right. I will be starting a new introduction to the Kabbalah class. I do them in the fall, and the spring and the fall. September is rolling around now. I'll be doing it in September. It's either going to be the second, or the third week of September. I have to look at my schedule, but it will be in September, and it's a 6-week course, and it'll give you sort of the nuts and bolts and some of the language of the Kabbalah. So if you want to take the second part of it and work with the Kabbalah the way I work with the Kabbalah and learn how to do that and what information you can glean from it. That will happen after the first class. So, and it'll be on my events page on the seedsoftransformation.com. All right, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again next month. Namaste.